tune. That was the sounds of Propaganda. Sky is an old friend. Okay, guys. So today's piece, we're going to today's piece. We're gonna look at what Donnie McClurkin says about gospel music today, and I'm gonna break it down from what my perspective is anyway. Still, yeah. But watch this anyway, still, guys. Yeah.
The industry called gospel music today, you see that a lot of it is solely for the aggrandizement. It is for the awards. It is for the popularity, and we use gospel as the foundation, gospel music. But we're building all of this carnality on top of it. Who can get an award, and who can get the television spot, and who's going to be on the televised award show, and the like, and that becomes the goal. You go to the award shows now, and you platform all of the gospel artists and all the new gospel music, and then you go to the reception afterwards, and it's drinking and secular music. You got an open bar, they play nothing but secular music at a gospel award show. So this has become the norm because we've let down the guard. The guardians have let down the standard, and now there's another standard raised, where it's all according to what you think is right. And the Bible said there's a way that seemeth right unto a man, but the end of those ways are the ways of death. So that's where we find ourselves. We're singing a great message, but we're not living a great life.
Okay, before, I think there's some more after that still, yeah. Let me just respond to that, yeah, a couple of points he made. Listen, guys, I'm not an awards fan. I know Step Forward doing awards. I'm not, in terms of myself, it's not my, I don't really get a kick of, I don't really get pushed to do, I've been asked to do award shows in the past. When I had a Gospel Lit magazine, everyone sees it as a great progression. Myself, I haven't done that. In terms of receiving awards, there's nothing wrong with that for me. It's great to just get people to thumbs you up on this earth. I think it's fantastic. I don't think you should be sole goal is to win awards, because you'll get let down every time. Just focus and just do your best, and if awards come, rewards come. It's easy for me to say that, but yeah, that's what I would say. Also, for me, it's a tough one, because he's saying that this whole secular music situation comes up now. I know musicians like Donnie or singers and whatever were inspired by secular artists in terms of style, but what he's almost saying, he's saying, come on, man, there's a time and a place. I believe he's saying there's a time and a place. He's not saying he's a perfect human being. He's saying there's a time and a place, and I do believe in that as well. I think there's a time and a place for and gospel artists now are just brazen, and I do think the popular Christianity today is do what thou wilt, which we know is not godly. And I think a lot of young Christians are almost coming out of church, facing the world undiscipled, influenced mainly from, and everyone blames YouTube. But also, if you got a leader who's uncontrollable, then you see artists become mini versions of them, and they become uncontrollable out there as well. Sometimes you see artists behave bad. It's a bad reflection on their church. Sorry, pastors, you might beat me up there, but sometimes we reflect the environments that we spiritually grow in. So the question is, Donnie McClurkin, again, we always separate church and gospel music, but no, where we grew up is in the church, and where we build the spiritual foundation. So if it's a kingdom mentality, a humble community, I believe that we reflect in how we operate outside as a Christian. I get where Donnie's coming from. I get you, bro. I really do get you. I don't totally. Awards are great. Donnie, you receive awards yourself, so it's like, people probably go, it's hypocritical, but I think he says at a gospel awards, and when you come out there and when you dance into secular music outside in the pantry, he's like, come on, mate, come on. Before we'd get together and pray, there comes a time and a place, guys, and I think we've become very, very not worried about what people. I was just listening to a preacher the other day, and he's talking about concerned. We know it's not bad for us. We know we're not going to go to hell for listening to secular music, but can we be a bit more wise about where and who we do this in front of? Yeah, not because of our strength, but about other people's weaknesses. So sometimes we have to be wise, and I feel like a lot of times we're just concerned about my journey to heaven, nobody else's. So we become a lot more selfish than selfless. So yeah. I would say. Let me see if Danny's got any more to say. That was quite interesting.
So the word to those who look up to you, respect you, who believe in you, that may not know the way, like you say, the generation of today. So that they can, if they're on that path, what would you say to them to abort that mission?
Oh man, there's so much to say, because there's so much to institute and there's so much to dismantle.
Yeah.
And this generation has risen up that doesn't know God really in that sense. There's a lot to say. The first and foremost thing that I could tell anybody in the multiple generations that are underneath me is let Jesus Christ really be the Savior. Let him really be the one who sanctifies us. Let's learn what sanctification really is. Let's come out from among them and be separate from them and not touch the unclean thing. And he said, everybody says, God is we're all God's children. We're all God's children. That's not what 2 Corinthians says. He says, only when you come out from among them and only when you're separate from them, he said, and then I will be a father to you. It's conditional. And then I will be a father to you. And then you will be my sons and daughters because you've come out from sin. You are living like me now in holiness. So we've got to get back to holiness. Live like God. And stop making excuses for the carnality that we've held on to that we wanted.
The Bible says.
Okay, guys, right. So Donnie's finishing that. No, that's great still, yeah. And the problem is, Donnie, and this is a problem for all of us as artists, as people that talk down the mic, is a case of we say that good talk, but do we live that good talk? Are we living that life? Are we living a life where people can go, okay, cool, I can follow you, Donnie. So I'm not saying, Donnie, you're Mr. Perfect, and you're not saying you're Mr. Perfect. He's talking about sanctification. He's talking about all this stuff and being separated from the world. I think there's a massive push towards being part of the world, because that's how we're going to reach the world. But I do hear what you're saying in terms of you got to be very careful, guys. You got to make sure you're called, because sometimes we bring back them ways into it. That's what affected Solomon, and they destroyed a lot of kings of Israel, destroyed a lot of people, thinking that they can mess about with the world, and they come back and they bring their ways into it. That's what destroyed Israel. In many times, they copied the ways of the local tribes and so on, and so they brought their gods in there, and it affects them. So, it's very, very, very tough. I don't want to come on here and say, yo, guys, I think it's a very dangerous not to lift up. I think we need to look at secular music. We need to understand, listen to if it influences, but there's a time and there's a place. That's my motto. Yeah, I would say, do not get yourself in a stage where it consumes you. I know what that's like, And when you sit back and you listen back and you're thinking, I was really listening to that. You know what I'm saying? Yes, the music mess with you. Guys, I grew up liking artists like Erykah Badu, who's heavily into spiritualism. I wouldn't play it in my car. Now I wouldn't play Erykah Badu now. No way. You know what I mean? Not because I wouldn't like her songs. I probably could sing along to it straight away. But there's just, I just don't say it's appropriate or advantageous for me to do it. So do we have to step up? We got to step up, guys. We do need to step up. I do feel like there's a culture of, I'm gonna roll with the man them. You know what I mean? I don't think that's wise, guys. That's wise. That's me, Donnie. Salute you for coming out, guy, bro. But at the same time, bro, be careful how you pointing the finger, because a lot of the older generation, they might not have done things publicly, but they did a lot of disgraceful things backstage, and off stage. So the big people, be very careful how you point off to the young people, because if the young people find out what you've been up to, that's not only you, Donnie, that's for the rest of them out there still in the gospel industry, the things that come out, and when you got artists that behave themselves correctly, the likes of Kurt Franklin, they get caught effing and blinding and calling him son the N-word, you know, it really, you might as well just listen to some little Nas X, you know what I'm saying, and dance to it, mate. You know, the way how you talk to your son, you know what I mean, and everybody backing him. But that's just me. That's where I'm at anyway. So yeah. But this is Roger and the Phoenix Extra Celebrity Gospel Music Black Origin, and I got just a bit of propaganda in the background. I'm gonna play another track from his new release. So
Yo, I just think it's beautiful, man. Look up and down the Americas, where our ancestors touched down and mixed our soil with that indigenous soil.
Hi, and thank you for watching. Make sure you subscribe, you like, and you comment, and make sure that you're sharing the videos and watching so much more. We have loads of content for you. I hope you enjoy.